Evening, everyone. Back with Okami HD, specifically part 34, and we have since reached the Arc of Yamato, where I did the boss gauntlet, as is typical with a lot of Capcom games, which honestly is kind of a cliche on their part that I wish they'd honestly put a cork in at this point. Then again, this game was released years ago, but then again, Devil May Cry 4 came after this a few years afterwards and made an even worse doing of that. So one cliche out of the way, and hopefully I'm close to finishing this game at long last, because honestly, it's quite overstated its welcome at this point. I normally like long games, but depending on the game, sometimes enough is enough. And now I'm just at a point where I'm like, yeah, should have ended by now. Okay, so we also learned that Waka is really one of these moon people who's been stranded on Earth for the last 200 years, and that Amaterasu's from up there as well, along with the other deities, and that this all happened and that the reason why everyone has a lot of demon troubles is because there was more or less a war in heaven, and it all came crashing down onto Earth. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. And apparently the game has also gone Samurai Jack on us by having Greco-Roman celestials with Latin and Greek names. So, yeah, it's gotten weirder than I thought it would be. Anyway, Okami Amaterasu, just being able to see you with my own eyes, I can't tell you how much joy it brings me. It pains me that I can't remain with you until the end, but I know that you won't let us down. Now I must join the others, but I'll never forget you, and how we used to play in the fields in our homeland. Who are you, and why do I care? I pray that you will always shine bright, Amaterasu. Yeah, the freaking Marco and some other ones with Japanese-ish names, despite having togas, it's like, yeah. It's like, game, are you based on Japanese legends or not? Make up your mind. Oh, are you kidding me? A blocked scene? Are you kidding me with this shit? Okay, Waka's fighting a giant orb, and he can't break it, and he lost his sword. Okay, a rant. I already went through this shit not long ago with Ni no Kuni 2. So, what is the point of anyone doing playthroughs of games, let alone streams from their own consoles, when developers and publishers can just put in a random code that just screws with the overall progress of your game? Like, how is this even fair? Two Japanese games and none of the other ones that I've played have done this. A lot of the Western games I've already played don't do this. Hell, Devil May Cry 4 didn't even do this, which is also a Capcom game. So, what the hell is this? Not to mention, Okami came out, 2002, 2004, somewhere around there. The game is over 10 years old. Way over 10 years old. So, there's no point in blocking any plot at this point. It's like trying to censor King Kong 1933, and when you're watching it, like, oh, you can't watch that because the game's... you can't watch that unless you see the rest of the game, the movie or something. Like, no, that doesn't work like that. Capcom, what is wrong with you? Ugh. Okami, Tatsu, thought you couldn't show up, thought I could handle this before you arrived. Blah, 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 blah. It seems I have met my match. And he's just standing there. Heh heh. This brings back memories, ma chérie. Remember when we faced Orochi together on the Celestial Plane? Okay, so he's talking about... So apparently, Amaterasu and, Waka are associated from the Celestial Plane. Behold, it is shrouded in darkness, but make no mistake, this is none other than Yami, the evil ruler of darkness. It was he who slew the Celestial on board this very ark, and brought misfortune upon the land of mortals. And the orb is black and lighting up, surprisingly, with blue energy. Of course, it's too dark to see his true form now. And now they're shaking. And so it begins. The dreaded day of darkness is upon us. And the Arc of Yamato is turning upwards, I think. And a solar eclipse is happening. Sun's blocked out. It's dark, pitch black. And we're back on the field, and the black orb's going glowing red. And now we have to fight the orb, which is going into a seizure right now. And is doing something to Amaterasu. And I think he took all the powers. Yup. And, Amaterasu's lost all her powers for some reason. Distorted time and space brings about this phenomenon. This ill-fated day only occurs once every 100 years. So it's pretty much the Sozin's Comet from Avatar, or whatever. The solar eclipse before. It's pretty much the solar eclipse plot line from Avatar, where the sun gets blocked off and all the firebenders lose their powers. That's pretty much what they're doing with this. In regards to Okami, Amaterasu. Nobody, not even the gods, has the power to stop it. So basically, it's a 100-year-old kill switch that happens and just, for a limited time, causes all the gods to lose their power. And and the orb opened up, and now there's a fishbowl with a tadpole or something in there that's black. Now it's shining a light, and Waka's blocking it from hitting Amaterasu. Still, I shall stand firm and fight this battle, for it was I who brought the Ark of Yamato to the Celestial Plane. But I was oblivious to the evil that lurked in its depths. I caused the death of countless innocent Celestials, and brought a curse upon the land of mortals. So Waka's on a redemption trip, more or less. However, I cannot reset my reactions nor undo the past. Bright light is still hitting Waka on the sword. He's still blocking it, and it overpowers him. And his hat and wig have fallen off, and he has bright golden yellow hair. Very long hair. Amaterasu. Orochi can only be defeated with the power of the Chosen One. That's what I told you, and you waited for me without question. You waited patiently in this land of mortals. You waited for the day that Nagi, the Chosen One, was born. You believed in me despite knowing that I count myself among the ranks of the accursed Moon Tribe who had escaped from the lunar realm. I was deeply moved by your earnest spirit. That is why my faith in you has not waned since that faithful day when we engaged Orochi in battle side by side. Aha. And the orb is glowing again with the black tadpole thing in there. Amaterasu, you must return to the celestial plane. You must do so in order to bring peace to this world. And the orb lit again and knocked Waka on his ass, flying through the air to his ass, and off the platform. So I guess Waka's dead now. Lovely. And, the orb reclosed. Oh, it's like Darth Vader's meditation chamber. And now we have to fight the thing, I think. So I have to fight the orb now without any powers whatsoever. And it's got buzzsaws that could come out of it, and I'm getting hit. I'm getting hit, and I can't do anything about it. And it opened. And I think I'm getting a power back. Huh. I got my... retrieved my rejuvenation power. Meaning I have my weapon back. My solar weapon thingamajig. Meaning I can also dodge and jump more effectively. So the more I hit it, the more I get my powers back, apparently. Power Slash, I got that back, meaning I can slicey dicey from that again. And now the ball is jumping all over the place. I can slash missiles out of the air and reflect them back. You know, what was the point of taking all my powers away only to give them back? That makes no sense. Retrieved green sprout. Meaning I have to open the... I can open the ball now and harm the black fish or whatever that's inside the orb. Okay, now it's glowing dark blue and swirling colors. Now it's green for some reason. And now it's got fire on it. And there's fountains. Oh, wait. The fire went away. Now I can attack it. What's the next power? Retrieved cherry bomb. Think I gotta dunk a bomb inside the orb, maybe. And now the... Okay, bomb's not doing much. Orb is on fire again. Next power. Retrieved water spout, meaning I can douse the flame away with the fountains that are surrounding the arena. How convenient. split into pieces, and I had with one being in flames, so I gotta put water on it. Then power slash. And it's gone into a towering segmented form that's just wailing on my ass. Okay, beat his ass enough. Now I'm getting another power. What's it? It's probably the wind power, I think. Crescent. Nope, that's the moon power. Okay, he's gone into towering form again. And he got me. Okay. Apparently, I'm not hitting something as it opens. Maybe I'm supposed to hit the thing that's inside. Okay, it's not power slashing for some reason. Don't understand why. Okay, apparently power slashing is not working anymore for some reason. Okay, whittled the life bar again. Now he's going into that blue black form. And now he's turned into gone into a different pattern with doors opening on it. And there's a slot machine thing happening. Which is strange. I have no idea what's happening. Okay, I can throw the bombs it's shooting. Okay, apparently hitting it now makes it determine. It's now turned into a slot machine, and if I hit it, and I have to hit it in order for it to choose, and I guess choose something to hit back. Bomb. Okay, now the fountains have turned into torches. And I can't control the fire yet, so that's something I still need. Okay, so I gotta reflect the powers back in order to wound it. Okay, I'm using Power Slash to throw all the stuff it's firing out back at it, so that way it wounds it. That seems to be doing the trick. And I think I hit a jackpot and now it's wounded. What's it giving it me? Yeah, I hit the jackpot, which did mega damage, and now it gave a new one of my powers back. Gale Storm, the storm power. Yeah, I hit another jackpot. Getting another power back. That's the second time in a row. I didn't expect this. Not that you all can see it, because they arbitrarily put a block on the game from being shown, meaning the only thing you're hearing is my voice describing anything. Retrieved Inferno, meaning I can burn him, although it doesn't seem to be doing much of a... it's only it's can free me from the ice. I got another jackpot. 3 in a row. What the hell? Well, does the game feel sorry for me and it's letting me win now? Veil of Mist. The time power. Oh no. Getting my health back because it dropped health. And ink. I can use Veil of Mist to calculate. And it... Hit the bull. The blue mark is for the fishbowl up top. Okay, where's my fire? Hit the bombs as it was going out with the Inferno brush power, and now it's been wounded again. And it's turned into a yellow ball with 2 arms coming out and whips. 2 feet and 2 whips. And its cockpit is being exposed with the fish in it, or whatever the heck it is. It reminds me of you, Yevon, from Final Fantasy X, with the whole diminutive little monster inside the big monster, except the little monster inside the big monster actually puts up a fight, unlike that. Wait a minute. Lightning, I don't have that yet. It's giving me another power. Since I hit the cockpit enough. It's a rolling ball now with the frickin' battle robot kind of thing. Catwalk, meaning I can walk on walls again. Not that it seems to matter much. Meaning I can go and get the chests up top of the pillars on the sides. Which hold stuff for me. Ah, missed the cockpit. Take advantage of my catwalk and collect the stuff that's on top of the pillars. Ugh. Hitting me. Health is low, so I'm gonna bring back my health. Ah, he's got lightning rods on his whips. Meaning I can call the thunder down, but unfortunately I don't have thunder yet. Okay, I hit him a bit more. He's giving me another power. What is it? Thunderstorm. Okay, I can channel lightning again. Oh, lightning rod time. Oh yeah, electrocute the bitch. Ah, and the fish ball just exited out of a compartment on the robot's ass. That's funny. Now he's going back in. Whips turned to into lightning rods, and now he's got a solar satellite dish ray coming out of his belly. Reflect the rockets back at him. Ah, missed the cockpit. Weaken him again. What's my next power? I got Blizzard back. Ah, I froze the ball, so now he can't retreat so fast. What? A giant red Zuzano or Nagi or whoever just showed up and attacked for some reason. Okay, lightning rod again. Hit him again. Now he's going back inside the robot. Now what? He's floating around with a giant mecha drill or something that's ground pounding everything. Ah, missed. Okay, the bombs are not returning for some reason. Electrocute him again. Hit the ball. Okay, cutscene. Robot is short-circuiting. Lightning all flashing all over the place. And Isun suddenly appeared on Amaterasu's nose for somehow. Heh, not bad, Furball. Well, you know the drill. Let's have one of those famous howls of yours. Oh, victory howl. Why do I get the feeling this is not the final form? Oh, she's not howling. I was right. There is more. Oh, wait. She's howling again. Oh! The robot came back to life and grabbed her with a lightning tentacle. Ew. And it's wailing on her all now. And now the constellations are getting wiped out. And I've been depowered again, somehow. And it's dark, and the robot turned into a robot with a red hand coming out of it. So I'm fighting the Master Hand from Super Smash Brothers now, all of a sudden, more or less. And for those watching, I apologize. Apparently, Capcom put in a damn block inside the game's code, meaning you can't watch any of this except hear what I'm describing. So, yeah. It's Ni no Kuni 2 all over again, much to my annoyance. Okay, it's who's talking to me again. Bah, that furball's always spacing out like that. And we can't get anything done without my help. So yeah. Huh, Camellia. Isn't that the girl from the beginning of the game? Is that doggy crying somewhere, sis? Is that why the sunshine has disappeared? Sob. And Camille. Yeah, the sisters who are hanging out at Sakuya's tree. I haven't seen the doggy for a while now. Did my saying there's no such thing as gods cause all this? Now Mushi's talking. Snowy, the hole-digging king. I never dreamt that you were a god. You're gonna make Hayabusa a nervous wreck. Uh-oh, apparently everyone knows about what's happening now. I think. The game's not really saying what is not really being descriptive. You don't get that sun shining again soon. Princess Fusei is now holographing her way in. Amaterasu, thanks to you, we can protect our village by ourselves. But you must be strong and triumph over evil. Over the canine warriors so dearly wish to see you once again. Now, Tama, the bomb guy, is speaking. That god sure was burning with passion. I don't know what happened, but if that mongrel doesn't come out of hiding, I'll have to send up a really big one to reignite that passion. Mr. Bamboo. Oh, so that wolf was really a god? Perhaps I should have made an offering of my bamboo ware. It may be my fault that the sun has ceased to shine. Now it's going white all of a sudden. Oh, everyone on the ground is, I guess, realizing that Amaterasu's been a god the whole time, or goddess, and now they're, like, I guess, going to pray or something. I don't know. Mr. Orange, who would have ever thought that that rascal was really Shiranui reborn? Mrs. Orange, my, how that god loved my cherry cakes. Could this darkness be caused by hunger? And now the frickin' Jamba, the giant sparrow. Chirp. Underling. Oh ho. The boss is praying. Now Kushi and Susano. Snowy, did something happen to you? Why has the sun suddenly disappeared? So Fido won't roll over and play dead for evil. No brother of mine would dream of it. I think you mean sister, Buckaroo, because Amaterasu is a female god. A goddess. Now, Oki. Something in your brushwork touches the heart, Isun. You never abandoned your life as an artist after all. Everyone's got, like, slips of paper on them that they're holding. When one tries to master something, it ends in either success or failure. But it is in the attempt itself where you find the true value. Believe in your own power and walk your own path. Now, Otohime, Isun, I see you have finally heeded your calling. I think what everyone is holding and is talking about is a drawing that Isun created. Your resolve is plain to see in your drawing. Yup. It has the power to move people's hearts and inspire their faith in the gods. Amaterasu, their faith shall be your power. Now, Ishaku. Ha ha ha. He did it. My grandson did it. Look at the spirit behind this beautiful brushwork. He truly deserves the title of Celestial Envoy. It's work like this that can show the true glory of the gods and guide people to the right path. There's one thing I'm sure of, Amaterasu. You've found a much better companion than I could ever be. Now, Isun himself is speaking. Okay, everyone, I know it's kind of hard to see in this darkness, but get a load of my latest work. Isun, the wandering artist, presents his interpretation of he drew Amaterasu's inner wolf form with the reflector on her back spewing fire all over it, and there's a bunch of Japanese kanji on the sides too. So yeah, pretty good artwork drawing. Depiction of the great god Amaterasu. Can you hear me, Yami? You're not floundering about without me, are you? You gotta pull yourself together. Yeah, Isun's with the crowd, apparently. I finally chose my path, and I have the resolve to see it through. I've started to roam the land as your missionary. But you gotta take care of things on your end, too. Don't look so sad. Yeah, I'm pretty sad myself that I can't show the freaking game. Just psych yourself up like we always did, remember? Oops, I almost forgot. Check these out, everyone. Extra, extra. It's the great god Amaterasu descending from the heavens. And I just inserted the extra, extra part because jokes. Haha, pretty good, huh? Yami was smiling down from the sky just a little while ago. Something must have disturbed the furball's concentration, though. That's why the world has gone dark. Without Yami, we can't take a refreshing nap outdoors. Rice won't grow. Plants and flowers will wither. Laundry won't dry. Monsters will roam about like they own the place. In other words, our world will be a total mess. No one wants to live in a world like that, especially me. So come on, everybody. Let's join together to call upon the great god. So basically, he wants them all to pray. Let's show Yami that we truly believe. Put your hands together and pray. And pray to the heart of the cards. Let's make our gratitude obvious. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Joke. Yep, they're all praying. I mean, we shouldn't pray only when we want something. We should consider how the gods must feel once in a while. We should even take on some of their burden. If you pray with all your heart, maybe the sun will cheer up and show itself once again, lighting our world with its heavenly glow. After all, the best thing about the great god Amaterasu is that happy-go-lucky spirit. Right, Yami? Answer if you can hear me, you big furball. Let me guess, all the prayer is gonna give Amaterasu her powers back. I think. Now there's a bunch of stars floating all over the place, and they're all going into Yami. Yeah, it's like prayer energy, and all the constellations are reforming, meaning I'm gonna get my powers back. Yep. All of them are coming back, and more glowy orb star firefly things are going into. And now there's a freaking... Oh, and the sun's back. And Amaterasu's now in her original flowy-haired Shiranui form. With an increase in tattoos. In the red tattoos. So basically... I'm back to... The character's back to how she was originally. At the... Before the... her first battle with Orochi 100 years prior. Ha! Brought out the sun, which is causing the giant hand monster and the thing inside to come out. It's throwing lightning blocks out. Now he's causing meteors to fall out of the sky and tornadoes to form. Yeah, he's pointing his hand all over the place and causing meteors to fall down. Now the hand's disabled. Sort of. Ah, solar beam. Ah, it's hitting me. His hand's slightly exposed, and now he's going down. Stunned, power slash. Hit the fishbowl as he was doing another laser attack. Time slow, so I can hit him. Oh, I gotta... Gonna change my weapon real quick to... the Thunder Sword. Main is still the... Solar Flare, and the sub is now my Thunder Edge. Give me something with more bite to it than the Rosary thing that I had. Power slash. Now he's redark. Now he's taken all my. Now he's redarkened everything and took my ink away. Now my ink's back because it recharged. Bring the sun back out. Ha! Dropped his orb again. Yep, Thunder Sword does way more damage. Tried to do another solar, but I caught his fishbowl. Knocked all the missiles back, and now he's defeated. The giant ball with the hand coming out of it. From Imps to Demons trophy. So I think that's the end of the boss fight. And it's seizing up. Yami, the Master Hand, is seizing up, and red lightning is crawling all over it. Japanese kanji's all over the screen. And the hand just imploded itself into a dark cloud and disappeared. I think the... And now Okami gave Amaterasu howled, and now it's bright out, and cherry blossoms are coming down, and now it's back to a regular cutscene. And Ami is jumping for joy, wagging her tail happily. And a ship of some kind, and it's Waka. He survived, of course he did. And he's on a freaking flying saucer with computer screens on it because ancient moon civilization. I don't freaking know anymore. Fantastique Amaterasu. What a long and winding road it's been. Hey, ma chérie, yeah, it would have been more worth it if I could actually show off the game. But I can't. But at last our arch-nemesis Yami, the Dark Lord who brought darkness upon the land of mortals, has been annihilated for all eternity. Yeah, he was a freaking black-colored goldfish inside of a fish bowl. He wasn't that impressive, well, except for the whole roly-poly robot thing. But other than that, it was okay. I liked it. It was a cool fight. I have to admit that was a decent, pretty interesting boss fight. I liked it. I must say, I was really surprised by your little bouncing friend. You couldn't have done it without him. And Ami jumped into the ship, and now she's licking him. Heh, that tickles. Down, heel. You're going to lick me to death. Well, Amaterasu, time to embark to even stormier seas. Making the world a better place is never easy. So yeah, Waka was a good guy the whole time. You must return to the celestial plane to set things in order. Only then you can usher in a new age of peace in the mortal world. Our journey is far from over, Moshadi. And the whole room is lit up, meaning with a holographic map of the entire Japan, of the whole game. Now full speed ahead. First stop, the celestial plane. So we're pretty much going back to the moon, more or less. And the Arc of Yamato's opening up a warp is formed energy sails on its top, and it's floating away past Ezofuji over Nippon, and is floating up into space. Now the camera's panning to the ground where Sakuya is, along with Isun who's bouncing on top of her head. The path to heaven, eh? Heh. Kinda sounds like fun. You remember what I said the first time I met you, Yami? There's no stopping me once I've made a decision. So I'm going, Furball, and there's no way you're gonna stop me. I'm gonna pull out all the stops and inspire people's faith in you. You're gonna have more believers than you know what to do with. You'll see. Until then, take care of yourself, you big furball. And now we're back with Ami and Waka in the ship. And the cameras... And now they're going into warp. Into hyperspace, I think. And apparently the celestial plane is a floating continent like Neverland with a volcano and a couple of mountains on it and a beach. And that's the end of the game. And now credits with awesome music with gameplay going off in below the credits. And the credits are going from left to right, kind of like a artwork, parchment thing. And I can only assume that it's still a blocked scene because no visual key thing has shown up. Oh, Lord. Should I review the game now, even though you can't see anything? And Amaterasu is now walking on the bottom of the screen, on the foreground, with all the bunch of animals and wildlife and stuff, and leaves are falling. You know, it's a fucking credit scene. There's not much to tell. Okay, so finally over in the most, well, in both the most thrilling and extremely disappointing way imaginable, because I can't show any of it off because of the stupid coding that Capcom put in. So, okay, let me go. I'll go into that rant again as soon as let me get my general review opinion out of the way. Okay, for the most part and overall, I really liked Okami, especially having played it for the first time. 10 years, over 10 years since it first came out. And I did enjoy it. It was a pretty fun, unique Legend of Zelda type of game, kind of like, like that in Darksiders, but with a heavy, heavy emphasis on Japanese mythology and story and old stories. In terms of gameplay, I kind of liken it to Twilight Princess. If Link were in his wolf form the whole time, that's pretty much what it is. But of course, it's a lot more interesting than that. You've got a bunch of different areas to traverse, some dungeons, and a couple of good boss fights here and there, even if some of them do kind of get reused for no reason. And it's a pretty faceted game with how you level up. You've got to, find your lost powers, the celestial brush techniques, and of course you got to win praise by doing good deeds throughout the land, which allows you to level up your base health and powers. And of course you get your money in order to unlock new weapons and techniques, which is all fine and dandy. I really loved the gameplay with the celestial brush. I thought it was actually I think it's one of the most creative and innovative gameplay designs I've ever seen. You kind of freeze the screen and you make a paintbrush to draw lines and symbols around in order to more or less. Oh, there's some kind of it's showing the potential futures of the other characters on the screen now. Freaking Otohime now has a kid with fish fins on the sides of his head. Okay, so it's showing off the fates of the characters. Yeah, and I really like the Celestial Brush. It's unique, it's innovative. I don't think I've ever seen another gameplay element like this in any other games. I really like it. The only problem I have with it, however, is that sometimes it gets a little persnickety. Like I'll be trying to draw a specific symbol on a certain object, and it just won't do it. And now there's a picture of Susano and Mushi with the kid, and my Star of David symbol just popped up. And now there's another scene of a art station, and there's new dialogue, and that concludes this most secret of tales. Well then, I'd say that's enough storytelling for today. This story contains the hopes and dreams of many fine people. Yeah, except for the douchebag that decided to put in a code that blocks the game from being streamed. Keep something, I couldn't miss it. What's that? You want to know why I alone know this tale that no one else knows? I'm gonna guess you're Isun, right? You listened to the whole story and never figured it out? You missed the whole point. Jeez, what's wrong with you? Yep, it's Isun, an older Isun from the sounds of it. I suppose I'll have to tell you the whole story all over again. You'd best learn to show my brush the respect it deserves. Anyway, I'm tired. Let's call it a day. If you're eager to hear more, I can tell you the rest of the story some other time. Yeah, and the rest of the story was on a 3DS sequel that came out years later, where you played as the offspring of Amaterasu, and I'm missing the dialogue. It's time to roll the scroll up and give it a title. Blah, 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 blah. Okami Amaterasu's Adventure. Come back again, okay? Yeah, and then they will continue. Until next time. Yeah, bye you soon. And then the game will continue into a 3DS sequel that took years in the making that I don't know if anyone bought, where you played as the offspring of Amaterasu, who was for some stupid reason named Chibi Terasu. And yeah, I don't think that's the sequel anyone had in mind, no matter how zany it is. So yeah, as I was saying, yeah, the Celestial Brush, pretty innovative and clever thing with being able to make symbols to create attacks, bring the sun and alternate the daytimes, and of course manipulate the elements all around you. But the only problem I had with it was sometimes it was like picky and persnickety. Like I'd be trying to do the symbol I really want, and it on a certain thing, and it would not work. Prime, especially the bloom, the bloom kanji. For whatever reason, that one just did not like to work half the time. I don't know why. Overall, I liked the story as well. I think it was well told, even if it got wordy at times. A lot of colorful, a pretty good colorful cast of characters that, for the most part, are entertaining. You can't really hate any of them, and with unique plots to them, especially some that connect to other stories. I mean, you've got the base Yamato no Orochi part. And the gameplay resumed because I entered the bullshit block scene and I got a poor ranking because fuck you, the game. Playtime, 50 hours, 40 minutes, and 23 seconds. Days past 80. Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit. Enemies defeat. The Dark Lord trophy. I'm getting... I got a Dark Lord trophy. I got I got 0 deaths throughout the whole game, which is awesome. I played, for the most part, very well. Enemies defeated, 1,128. Money gained, 400. Fight at almost 6 million yen. Demon Fangs found 306. I was kind of afraid of that because I missed out on a lot at the beginning. Praise earned 5,614, so I pretty much did pretty much every praise that I could. Congratulations. So I got all the cherry blossoms. I could have sworn there was a trophy for that. Yup, barking up the cherry tree trophy. Yeah, I got complete cherry blossom ranking throughout everything on the final screen. Okay, presents from E2, Karmic Transformer number 1, Karmic Transformer number 2. What is this? Karmic Returner, Stray Bead, and Karmic Transformer number 3, Karmic Transformer number 4, 5. Okay, now it's showing me. Are these like bonus costumes? Because that's what they look like to me. 6, 7, 8, 9. What is that, a realistic wolf? Secret Theater's been added to the gallery. You can save the game here. The save file will be used to start your new adventure. Saving Newfound instead of overwriting is recommended. I'm going to assume those were all bonus costumes. I'm not sure. Yes, save the game. I don't think I'm even gonna bother replaying that segment in the Secret Theater or whatever, because how much you want to bet it's gonna get blocked. So, yeah, I liked the story. It was its own thing, while at the same time it interweaved a bunch of other Japanese tales, you know, loosely. It's kind of like God of War in that regard. It kind of adapts so many different things to it. You had the Yamato no Orochi tale. You had Kaguya, the Bamboo Princess, although kind of a plot hole with that one because she went up in the rocket and now we don't know where she went. obviously a lot of them are loosely based and are not direct translations. For example, the whole, Yamato no Orochi Yasuzano is supposed to be a deity in the actual legend, so they took heavy liberties with that one. But other than that, in combat, in terms of the generic combat, it's simple. It was not terribly complex like Devil May Cry or Ninja Gaiden. It was simple, but at times challenging and difficult, depending on what you did. And there were some segments where I did have to actually use my power-up and health items, which, like the Kusa 5, which I had not done previously because I was just breezing through everything. So not a terribly hard game either, although it does have its few moments. A lot of side quests and side activities, where I do find fault, however, with the game is in some of the side activities. Some of them are just not fair and break the rules in how they are supposed to go. For example, the crown jewel being the freaking races. Now, the first two, they were chased after the running mailmen guys, which was simple enough. And they did, of course, they don't explain them well enough. Apparently, I had to look it up because, when you think race, you think you gotta beat a person to a finish line, right? Well, the game never explained that, so I had to look it up, and it was, you just have to catch them and tackle them to the ground. Well, then you had the last one with Kai and Kamui, and that ended up flipping everything on its head into a traditional race, and one that is next to impossible to do. I gave up. That was probably the one side quest I just could not do because of how awfully programmed it was. I couldn't do it. And there's no power-up in the game to make Amaterasu run faster at a head start, because you start off as a crawl, And there were a few other side quests I couldn't stand either. And so, for the most part, the game is pretty open but linear at the same time. It's not a game you can easily get lost in, but there were times where the game was just not self-explanatory enough, and I had to actually look up what I had to do. Which is something I really hate doing. Because, I don't like to be not told what to do. Contrary to other gamers who like being told nothing, which I'll never understand, I like to be told where to go. I like a directed experience. I mean, I don't like to be handheld to the point of being led throughout like a little kid. There's games that do that and do that insultingly, like Call of Duty, Mass Effect 3, so on and so forth. This one was somewhere in the middle, where it did not hold my hand much, but there were times where it did. It had me proverbially banging my head against a wall because I did not know what it wanted. So it was somewhere in the middle. Personally, I think Darksiders 3, Darksiders, the first one, is the best example of a Legend of Zelda type of game that does a good job at telling me what I have to do without babying me about it, you know what I mean? And also, I really liked the visuals. I liked this, old-fashioned Japanese artistic look to the game, although from what I've heard, there are people who don't care for it as much. But, so in terms of art style, I think this is something you're either going to like or you're going to hate. Me, personally, I liked it because of how artsy it is, which gives it a distinct look from everything else. Although, I do question some of the design elements. Like, I don't like the whole tomato nose have. It's something I see even in anime too, that to me just I find bleh. Like, I don't like that art style, or at least that aspect of the art style. And I I've avoided talking about it, but apparently everyone has short legs in this game, which seems weird. There was another thing I wanted to say. Oh yeah. This is something that's both kind of funny and yet kind of stupid at the same time. I don't know why throughout parts of Okami there's this sudden mix of stuff that just feels out of place. Like, for example, Waka speaking French, a language that ancient Japan did not know about until, like, the 14th, 13th centuries or however, when, you know, the West started interacting with the Japanese for the first time. So that just felt very out of place. I mean, yeah, I know, it's a fantasy game, but it's suspension of disbelief, yes. But suspension of disbelief has its limits. Suspension of disbelief means that I can believe I'm playing a game with where I'm playing as a white wolf who's really the mortal embodiment of a Japanese sun goddess. It does not allow me to believe that somebody in said Japanese setting can suddenly speak French. It's immersive breaking. And then you have the whole Arc of Yamato shtick where all the ghosts of the spirits are dressed in Greek Greco-Roman togas and have angel wings on their heads and halos. No. I mean, Samurai Jack did that too, and I thought that was stupid. As great as that series was, and is. So yeah, it's just, it doesn't hurt the game, but it is a bit immersion breaking, since if you're expecting a straightforward Japanese tale like I did. Granted, in hindsight, it is a Japanese tale, but I was expecting a full-blown set in ancient Japan Japanese tale. You know what I mean? It's one of those first impressions things where my expectations are thrown out the window unceremoniously. And of course, yeah, there's the whole thing in the end where they blocked the last boss fight for no frickin' reason. I don't get it. First level 5, now Capcom. Why do they do this? I mean, I could possibly understand Ni no Kuni 2 since that game came out fairly recently, but this is a game from over 10 years ago. There's no need or reason to block out freaking the last boss fight in this game. There really wasn't, meaning I had to describe everything to the last detail, what just happened. So most of this video has been pretty much been blue screened with only me talking, and you can't hear or see anything else. So I'm gonna have to put in the description, you know, scroll here for the review or whatever, because that's pretty much what I'm gonna have to do. And it pains me to do that. And it robs the thrill of doing playthroughs for games like these, because if you're gonna get part of the game blocked, especially when you've already done 90% of it, then what's even the point? Why would I waste my time streaming a playthrough of a game if part of it is gonna get blocked anyway? Not to mention, it doesn't even make any freaking sense in any practical sense, because I've already shown off 99% of the game. You could have blocked any of it, so why save it till the very end? It makes no sense, and especially when you pretty much know how the ending is gonna go. I mean, you beat the bad guy, the world is saved. There's nothing over-complicated about it. It's not freaking Game of Thrones, it's freaking Okami. It's a game with a simple story. You know, beat the bad guy, save the world from darkness. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that happens that is interesting and mind-blowing, but at the end of the day, the plot is still fairly straightforward and not really that complex when you think about it. So, really, Capcom wasted their time doing that. And more importantly, it makes me feel like I wasted my time doing this. And it also boggles my mind too. And you know what's funny? I played... The first game I streamed was Devil May Cry 4. Those who have been subscribed would know that. And you'll notice that outside of me having technical difficulties, no scenes were blocked in that game at all. That's a game from 2008. This is a game from like the last days of the PlayStation 2, so it's older than Devil May Cry 4. So there's really no excuse for Capcom to put in any sort of stupid code to block a playthrough of a game from being viewable while being streamed under any circumstances whatsoever. So, yeah, it's. I really wish they didn't do it. If anything, it just robs my enjoyment and really makes me question whether or not it is worth it to stream more games if they're all gonna do shit like this. And that's the last thing I want to feel, in all honesty. And if anything, what it's supposed to be free advertisement when you think about it. I mean, if players like a game that people are curious about and they give their recommendation, that means that more people will buy it. That's how I ended up buying a lot of the games I have now, because I look at playthroughs and I deduct from how enjoyable it is, and if the game looks my cup of tea, and so on and so forth. That's kind of what I kind of want to do, for funsies. Gives me something else to do along with my video gaming hobby. It's not just me. I can actually show off what I'm seeing and give my recommendations. But all that aside, did I enjoy Okami HD despite headaches here and there? Absolutely. It's a unique game. I recommend it. Again, I don't think it's for everybody, and due to the art style, and there are some points in the game where I did proverbially bang my heads against the wall. The race quests, a few other stupid side quests, vague descript bullshit here and there, and of course the stream problems that I've had. Other than that, it's unique. I am kind of sad we never got a sequel. Well, I lie. There was a sequel for the 3DS where you played as Chibi Terasu. If that doesn't seem like a lazy sequel idea, I don't know what is. Really, Chibi Terasu. I mean, there's this game, and then there's frickin' Ridiculous. I don't have a 3DS, so I can't say I've ever played it. So in the end, I really have no opinion on it, nor do I know how much that game sold. Then again, Okami, the original, didn't sell as much as Capcom hoped originally, yet gained a cult following in the aftermath, which allowed for a re-release, 2 re-releases, the Wii and this. So, yeah, Celestial Blush, interesting gameplay, cool boss fights, interesting visuals, some silly side quests here and there, and so on. An enjoyable game all around. I do recommend it if you ever get the chance, especially if you're into Legend of Zelda type adventure games. And really, that's all I could say at the very least. Yeah, it has its headaches, but for the most part, the game's enjoyable, and I do like and recommend it. And that'll finally do it for this game at long last. Oh my god. It definitely started to wear out its welcome after a while, especially with some of the quests, but hey, another one in the bag. Now I just gotta choose which game I want to do next. I'm probably gonna go back and play Monster Hunter World. I don't think I'm gonna stream much of it, but it'll give me some time to think, I suppose. I might put a poll on my Twitter account for people to judge what to play next. So yeah, that'll do it for Okami HD. I might put up a poll on my Twitter account, AlexSaurusZilla, to see what everyone can judge. And yeah, I'll do it. I'll be back later with a new game event soon. Like, share, subscribe if you enjoyed my gameplay and review and rant. And by all means, check out my YouTube channel for other playthroughs that I've done already. And I'll see y'all later. Metal Levite Alex out. Like, share, subscribe, yada yada yada. Have a good night and peace out. Have a good one.